And that's a word that you hear a lot nowadays. Are guys coachable or not? Are they still coachable? Do you feel like the modern talent is as coachable as those guys that you were just mentioning?
No, and I don't think that the younger guys coming along look to the careers of the older guys and use them as a template. You know, there's been so much influx of talent into the bigger companies now, but a lot of these guys, that came from the indies, and it's not their fault, but they were never in a position to have a producer or have an agent and walk them through stuff and explain the business to them. And here's what the company rules are. Here's why you can't do this. You can't do a pile driver on the floor. And here's why. They didn't have the benefit of that on the indie shows. It was pretty much the talent would get there, put their match together themselves. And, the promoter was just glad that nobody died because, these kids, man, they put it all out there for you.
Yeah, put their
You
life
know,
on the line.
they really do. They endanger themselves, and put themselves in a position to be crippled for life. And it's because nobody is there to grab them by the wrist and go, wait a minute, hold it. Let's talk about this. And here's why.
And then when they do finally get to someone, they've gotten used to that pop and that feeling from the crowd, and they want to say, "No, no, no, I can't go back. I'm getting over with this stuff. Thank you,
Yeah.
old timer." But since they weren't getting that coaching early on enough, and they feel like they've gotten over, and the crowd buys into it, it's almost like trying to get them off of that high. It's almost impossible, probably, as a coach.
I would think so. I
Oh,
would,
that's the struggle.
well, I just, have always been a teacher. I've always wanted and tried to help younger talent. Even if I didn't have their match, if I just saw somebody's match on the show and I saw something that could make them better, help them get over all the positive things that happen when you do things right in this business, and I would go to them and try to help them. And, there are that's why people kind of pop out of the woodwork from time to time and like Adam Pearce and go, hey, this guy really helped me,
Yeah.
and I think Randy Orton would tell you the same thing. John Cena would tell you the same thing. Batista would tell you the same thing, you know. Uh, I remember actually even, with Daniel Bryan suggesting things, for him to do that were nasty. And it worked. It worked for him. And that's our job as veterans to pass the information down and let the young guys know that, hey, you didn't have to do these 4 or 5 things in a row. You could have done 2 things in a row and sold them properly and got the same reaction that you got out of doing 5 things.
Hmm. Listen, it's okay to be coachable. Talent, current talent, up and coming talent, even if you've gotten kind of addicted or, used to the pop that you're hearing because of the crazy stuff, take it from the old timers that, Arn, you sit there, you talk about a back, you talk about a neck and a nerve. These are the reasons that you talk and say these things to these guys. You're just not making it up.
I guess those of us that really care about, these young guys and young girls, and the reality is we're not trying to hold you down or hold you back. We're trying to protect you from yourself.
Mm. Well said.